Hey everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. The fact that you've clicked on this episode means that you are very interested with respect to what I was referring to in my thumbnail for this particular episode. And yes, I certainly hope, particularly if you are new to the print-on-demand business, that you are not making this super huge mistake. And what I'm referring to is obviously the way you are designing for coffee mugs on platforms like Redbubble, because of the fact that we want to give quality to our potential customers, and we really want to enhance the purchasing experience for our customers by giving them something to dazzle them, giving them something to really sink their teeth into and to really enjoy. So if you're interested in what it is that I'm referring to and you want to learn more, stay tuned. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen, and as you can see here, I am on Redbubble. What I did, so that obviously this video won't be too long, is I already went ahead and picked and chose a few mugs, basically to show, or rather to give indication of steps that you need to avoid doing with respect to your own designs on mugs too as well. These are newbie mistakes, and obviously I want you to have as much success as you possibly can, particularly now that we are approaching the fourth quarter, and heck, even throughout the whole entire business calendar year. You want to make sure that you're providing quality designs, quality layouts on your respective print-on-demand products that you sell. And you know, when it comes to coffee mugs, which are relatively popular after stickers and t-shirts on Redbubble, you want to make sure that you are giving, you know, some good quality designs. You're filling in the mug as much as possible. You're giving reason for customers to want to buy your designs on the mug. You know, the amount of money that they're spending on these print-on-demand platforms, which is absolutely fine, because if they're ordering something from these particular print-on-demand websites, these are unique. These are artistic. You're not going to find them in places like Walmart or dollar stores or Euro stores or what have you. They are created by you, the artist, so obviously it stands to reason that they're going to be a little bit more expensive than what you would find in a supermarket or a shopping mall or whatnot. But just because that is the case doesn't mean that we should just go about and just slapping any kind of design on the mug and saying, here, buy this. Because you know what? Consumers are frugal, consumers are wise. They're going to know whether or not a design, or rather a seller, a designer, has actually put in the effort necessary to justify them taking their credit card out of their wallet and making a purchase. So let's just take a look at a few of these mug ideas of things that I want you to avoid doing, particularly if you guys are new to the print-on-demand business. If you are new to selling on print-on-demand and you're still getting your feet wet, I definitely want to encourage you to avoid making these mistakes. Okay, so the first one, and I'm going to be blurring out all of the sellers' details because, again, the scope of this video is not to put these sellers down. Perhaps they didn't even realize that they activated the mug, or perhaps weren't in a position to create an extra design for the mugs, and you know, that's fine. If they're seeing this video and they want to be encouraged by it to go ahead and make the change, all the more power to them. But again, this is not to, you know, bring down anybody. This is just so that we can all learn to improve the quality of our designs, the quality of our offerings on our respective print-on-demand shops. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the placement of the design relatively on the center of the mug, so opposite the handle, which in itself is not terribly wrong. But the problem is, going back to what I stated earlier, given the fact that, you know, my computer is configured to euros, given the fact that a customer is potentially being asked to spend 12 euros and 22 cents on a mug with this design, I certainly feel that, you know, this particular design, and it's a really nice one, could have definitely been doubled up and placed on either side of the mug. Or else, I mean, look at it, it's a really beautiful piece of artwork, okay? So, and it's a shame that, you know, when you are looking at it on the thumbnail here, again, this is no fault of the seller, this is just the way that Redbubble tends to obviously show the mock-ups for mugs in this particular instance. But if you look at this one over here with, you know, two opposite mugs showing what, you know, basically what the customer is going to see on either side of the mug, it's all empty. There isn't much for them to basically chew on, to enjoy. So in this particular case, I would highly recommend that, you know, this particular design be moved to one side and either doubled up and placed on both sides, or else what you could do is you could have the design on one side and then something else on the opposite side to complement the design. Maybe some information pertaining to the seller or a really nice quote or whatnot. Effectively, what I'm trying to say is that you want to give your potential customer something to feast their eyes on, something to enjoy, not only for themselves, but when other people are in the same room with them and they're having a cup of coffee or a cup of tea from it or a cup of hot chocolate, whatever it is that they're having in it, anybody who's seeing the mug is going to enjoy it on both sides, irrespective of what is on either side of the mug. As it stands right now, unless the person holding the mug is literally turning it opposite so that, the face of the design, or rather a piece of art, is facing out for everybody to see, there's going to be a lot of lost appreciation. Okay, so that's the first one. Now the second one over here is very similar to the first one. It's a text design, and it says, "But did you die?" Again, obviously this is referring to something that I have absolutely no clue about, and that's not a problem. I'm sure there are customers who will know from the description and the keyword tags what this design pertains to. But again, unless, the person is holding the mug in the hand and the text is opposite so that everybody can see, a lot is being lost. And again, if this is a quote, we've got here, it's a cool motorcycle or funny helmet stickers and bikers gives coffee mug. Okay, so perhaps maybe this was actually designed for, stickers, and they just activated the mug, and obviously by default it was placed smack dab in the middle. I would definitely suggest that, the person who owns this particular design goes in and moves it to one side and then either doubles it up or, again, puts another piece of text on the opposite side just to give something for the customers to really sink their teeth into. Now, the third one, again, is yet another mug where the design was placed opposite the handle. So we're not going to delve too deeply in that. But again, if you look at it, obviously be strong as a lion, perhaps maybe has something to do, obviously, with the fact that, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II recently passed away, perhaps, I don't know, or maybe it's referring to something else during the time of publishing this video. But again, it's a really nice design and it's being lost, okay? Now, the next design, this one is of a walking hyena. It's a really nice graphic. The problem is that, again, the clip art is just on one side of the mug. So in this particular case, this would have been a really ideal time to actually create multiple versions of this hyena and make it such that, there are hyenas all around the mug. So some kind of pattern design all leveled out here so that whoever purchases the mug will get more bang for their buck. Okay, as it stands right now, you've just got the hyena on one side, a blank white canvas on the mug on the opposite side. And it's really boring. It's really drab. Guys, we really need to take this a step forward. We really need to step up our game, particularly if you are new to the print-on-demand business. Don't fall victim to this particular type of mistake. Go the extra distance and double it up. Now, you might be asking yourself, how are we going to double it up? What do I do? How do I go about doing it, Brian? Don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm going to be showing you how to do that in just a couple more clicks. So we just got 2 more mugs to take a look at. Now this one is a design where obviously the seller created a black palette and then just put some text designs in purple and yellow, your life, your idea. It's not a bad quote, but there's a lot going wrong with this particular design. First and foremost, I would have definitely brought the words closer together. They're just spread too far out. The fact that your and idea are really close to the lip areas and the bottom areas of the mug. And then again, on the flip side, it's just black. There's nothing going on with that. Again, you're not leaving a lot for the customer to sink their teeth into, for it to appeal to them. And the likelihood of it making a sale is probably going to be negligible. So there's a lot of room for improvement with respect to this particular design. I would highly recommend that if you're watching this video, don't make the same mistake. Okay, now the final design that I want to show you, again, is yet another text design. This time it's white text on black. Again, it's the opposite. It's just a sea of black. There isn't anything for people to enjoy, with the exception of I'm still learning. Well, we're all still learning, and I really hope that this particular video is going to encourage and motivate all of you who are watching this particular episode to learn what not to do when you are actually creating and working on the mug aspects for any and all of your designs. Now, if you already have designs that are placed on mugs that are really looking shabby and maybe perhaps you could improve upon them, this might be a time to start considering going in and start tweaking a few of them. If you got a lot in your shop, obviously you're not going to do them all in one go. But hey, even if you have to do a couple at a time, over time it's going to pan out. You're going to get an improvement with respect to your shop, and this will be seen, this will be evident in the eyes of customers who visit your shop, and obviously will appreciate the effort that you've gone into to make sure that you're giving quality for these particular mugs. So how are you going to be doing it? Well, you can use Photoshop, you can use 𝗲𝗄𝗃𝗃, you can use an Illustrator program. There's a ton of programs out there that you can use, but there is an easy one which effectively everybody and anybody can gain access to. You don't have to pay a single cent for it. It's really easy to use. You've probably already started using it, but perhaps maybe did not even consider that, hey, you could actually use this program for your mugs. And again, I am talking about Canva.com. So if we go to Canva, I've already opened up a canvas. Now, so what you want to do is when you're on the home screen of Canva, you want to go into the custom size, or rather create a design here. And what you want to make sure is you click on custom size here, and your dimensions are going to be, as you can see, I have them here, 2700 pixels wide by 1120 pixels high. And that's effectively the size, rather the canvas size for the Redbubble mug. So once we click on create design, you are going to get your canvas on screen, as you can see here. Now, we've got a huge white canvas. How am I going to know where to place my designs, my clip arts, my text design? Brian, I'm freaking out. Hey, hold on a second. You don't need to. I've got you covered. So what I went ahead and did was I did all of the hard work for you. I created a template, which I'm going to place on offer. You're going to find the link to that template in the description box below. You just click on it and obviously request permission to be able to access the folder. I will give you, or rather I will grant you access the moment your request pops up on my email. Please be a little bit patient. I've got a template off camera here. I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to drag it in here. Okay, now once you click it into Canva, it's not going to be the appropriate size. You have to do a little bit of resizing here. So it's not the end of the world. You're just going to click, you're going to drag the top left-hand corner to the top left-hand corner of the canvas. All right, and then once you grab the opposite right anchor, you just want to stretch it out. I've got to move it here because obviously the anchor point is behind me at the moment. Okay, you want to stretch it out right across the canvas size. Now, when you do that, the black areas where it says place your design within the confines of this box are going to be the appropriate size and the appropriate placement on either side of the coffee mug. So when you go to upload it onto Redbubble, you can put your mind to rest that your designs are going to look nice and centered on both sides of the mug. Now, does this mean that you're going to be sending it up with these black boxes? Absolutely not. But you want to keep it there for the moment until you put your designs, whatever it is that you want, over these, and then we're just going to delete it and you're good to go. So given the fact that we're going into the fourth quarter, and one of my favorite holidays aside from Christmas during the fourth quarter is Halloween, I thought let's create a very basic Halloween mug just to give you an idea of how to go about doing it. Obviously it's going to be a spur of the moment type design. We're not going to be finessing on it, but then obviously once you're actually putting this into practice and actually creating your designs, you're going to give it a little bit more dedication, a little bit more time to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect. But in this particular case, I went ahead and I found two clip arts pertaining to Halloween. As you can see them here, the first one is Trick or Treat, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to place it over the first box. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to click, we're going to drag it, and we're going to bring out the vertical borders until they're actually touching the black boxes. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to bring it up or down to center it. As you can see, we've got a horizontal purple line or pink line, whatever you want to call it, appearing now. That's Canva telling me that, you know, Trick or Treat over here, this particular design is centered right across. So I'm just going to let go here, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a pumpkin on the same color scheme? I found it on Canva. I'm going to click on it, bring it on, and then I'm going to just drag it over, bring it anywhere on the box, stretch it out, expand it so it's nice and big, it's nice and colorful. And now what we want to do is we want to make sure that it's centered. Boom, there you go. Okay, so that means now we've got Trick or Treat, which is going to appear on one side of the mug. The pumpkin is going to appear on the other side. All right, and when I go to upload it, I know that these particular designs on either side are going to be in the best position possible. And actually, it's going to be centered right across the mug. Now, the last thing that we need to do, very simple, it's not brain science. We're just going to click on the template in the background, we're going to activate it, and then we're just going to hit delete on the keyboard in order to delete it. And as you can see here, I've got a Trick or Treat Halloween design with a white background that I can upload onto Redbubble. Okay, so I've just finished downloading the design from Canva. As you see, I'm back on Redbubble and I'm in the Add New Work section. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the design. I'm going to click and drag it into the Upload New Work section. We're just going to wait for Redbubble to upload it. And again, for all intents and purposes pertaining to this video, we're just going to be looking at the mug section because clearly the design was not configured for the other products and would not look good on any of the products anyways. Obviously, if you're going to be creating something pertaining to Halloween that you want to incorporate these particular clip arts, you would obviously create, a canvas of 5400 pixels by 4500 pixels for your t-shirt. You might want to create one with a colored background like black or orange or what have you, or a nice dark purple, Halloween purple for your sticker, and then just use these three designs and intermix them accordingly on all of the products to see which one would look best on whichever product. But for all intents and purposes, we're just going to take a look at the mug here so that we can see the versatility of this particular layout. And as you can see here, we've got the mug section here, and we've even got the travel mugs. The travel mug will work well too as well with respect to this design. But if I had to click on the thumbnail for the mugs here, as you can see here in the editing section, I don't have to do anything to this particular design. It's properly centered horizontally, and it's also properly centered vertically, as you can see from these vertical lines over here. Given the fact that I had created that particular canvas on Canva and uploaded it, it's at 100% and I don't need to tweak it, I don't need to shrink it or enlarge it or what have you. As you can see here in the default view of the mugs, one side you've got trick or treat, the other side you've got the pumpkin. But the only problem that you would have to contend with is deciding which of the default views you would want Redbubble to obviously show your designs on in your shop. Would you want it to be with the pumpkin side or with the trick or treat? Obviously, if you are having the same design on both sides, it really doesn't matter. You could choose either or. But in this particular case, I'm happy with the fact that the pumpkin would be showing, so I would just leave the check mark on the pumpkin. If you wanted to put it on trick or treat, you just click on it, and you can see you got the check mark over there, which means effectively that when customers are seeing the mugs for this particular design, they're going to see trick or treat. So let's just go back to the pumpkin one. And we just have to take a look at the mug here, the travel mugs. As you can see here, it works brilliantly too as well. What I would do is I would obviously change the default view because as you can see here, it's just showing the white. So again, I would maybe choose trick or treat in this particular case so that, they would see both sides of the designs on the various mugs. And then obviously that would heighten their interest in actually purchasing either the coffee mug or the travel mug, or hey, maybe even both. So as you can see here, we're back on Canva, and as you can see, it's really not that difficult to create something on Canva, which is going to be very, very easy for you to be able to create mugs for, and it's obviously going to provide a lot more quality for your respective customers, to provide them with something that they can really sink their teeth into, enjoy, and obviously open their wallet and take out the credit card to purchase. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. If you're new to this channel, or perhaps maybe you haven't as yet subscribed to this channel and you know who you are, please smash that subscribe button now. Please help me to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I know that with your help, I can do that. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more ways that you can take your print-on-demand business to the next level, why don't you check out one of these 2 episodes I have over here. Catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.